Alright guys, we're here at the Great Wall of China and we're here with the Insta360 1X 360 camera. I've had the whole trip to review this guy and use it, and I gotta say it's the best 360 camera I've ever used and probably the best travel shooter I've had. First and foremost, we go into some of the ports here. Let's stick by close. You got your micro USB, which is pretty old. It's on my extended selfie stick here. It has its OLED screen, 2 buttons, pretty simple, and it's 360. Notably, some of the drone software in here. So one of the best things for this was I could always extend this all the way out over there, and I can do a bunch of drone footage, which I've done a lot. This is one for 30 bucks on Amazon, but you can buy your own custom ones. You also have bullet time. You have some loops for 5 seconds. You can put this with the accessory inside of a football as well. And overall, it's been a very good shooter. Alright, so let's talk software. The software is probably the best part of this, because coming from the Samsung Gear 360, you would see footage that was always jumbled when you were walking, unstable. This has the flow state stabilization, and I really congratulate the team for working so hard on software updates to really get this to work. If you look on Amazon, it's very highly rated, and I would think it's because of the work, not just in the hardware front, but from the software front. A lot of 5-star reviews from there. I didn't understand why for 400 bucks. But the minute you shoot something, all your footage is stabilized. And at the same time, you get to edit your videos. And let's talk about workflows and work streams. This whole trip, I got a chance to do all my editing on this iPhone right here. And I get to choose the pivot points. So you're going to see some of the live actual workflows of choosing the window that you want for the pivot points. You can actually speed, hyperlapse through them, shorten them, make them a loop. You can make it the fishbowl view, you can make it the expanded view, whatever view you want. And this is important because you're shooting in 2D screens. So when you're sharing this with your friends and family who are watching this on their phones or their Instagram channels, you'll notice that for this trip, I made 3 different videos. One for this wall, one for Shanghai, and one for just other vacation stuff. So sharing it with the software was definitely a plus for this. Change your battery over here. You could straight plug this micro USB into your iPhone as well. You didn't have to do the Wi-Fi transfer to your phone. So if we're talking workflows and footage, what I liked a lot was I could get the footage off of here onto my iPhone very fast. Now, I was worried for this trip because I forgot the cord, but the Wi-Fi transfer and the firmware actually improved. So the whole trip, I was recording stuff on here, transferring it to my iPhone, working on iMovie, or working in the app to export that footage, mainly onto social channels, Facebook and Instagram. As for the audio, you have the chance to put music on there if you wanted to. I didn't test it out too much on that front because you want short, sweet, simple clips. But I'll tell you that this was a great ultra-wide lens here, capturing all the footage, versus some of our other stuff, our DSLR camera. Pretty hard to use and capture some of the stuff we wanted to work with, and the gimbal, and also an ultra-wide lens. But I also brought the Galaxy S10. Alright, so we talked about build quality over here. First, I like the standard threads that you have. It works with just any mounts, the GoPro ones, the extended selfie stick. Here for the SD card, you want the V30 speed. I tried to use my older class, UH10, and it said insufficient speed writing, even though it did some work some of the time. It has a replaceable battery. After long sessions, I recorded about an hour of footage and it said the battery was very low. I could just out and switch them. You can buy an accessory for that as well to supercharge them, so they're treating that like a camera. And then it has your 2 kind of fishbowl lenses here, along with the OLED screen and your 2 buttons. One thing though, when I had it in the case, I pressed this power button often while it was shoved in the case, and it turned it on and actually had the battery life, and it killed all the battery when I charged it all day. But you get it so stable, once you have it on the extended selfie stick, it almost looks like drone footage. You can get these aerial views, but make sure that when you're using the software to get your pivot points, you don't pivot in awkward times, or else it'll look very fast and jarring when you're editing your video. They always had the options to teach you more skills that they had in the app as well. It's a very comprehensive app. If anything, it's one of the most developed ones that I've seen. And for the last part, as we finish our adventure here in China at the Great Wall, is really when you're treating this camera versus an action camera versus waterproofing versus a DSLR or an ultra wide, I think this is the perfect one, because at least for traveling, you want to capture your wide environments that you're in, the scenic views. And the only way to do that is with a 360 camera. You want to capture everything, go into your software later and edit the footage to really get it right. But if you have your action cam, you have the option for the waterproof cases or all the accessories like I talked about. While we're traveling at the Great Wall or Shanghai or Tianjin or all those different areas, it was probably the best thing to really capture the whole trip. And so I would say this is your best travel companion, your best travel buddy. In comparison to your gimbals and iPhones, all this clunkiness, I would say this is short, sweet. Get your quick clips out there, upload them to YouTube, share them with Instagram and your family. Otherwise, I've had a great time with the Insta360 One X, and I can't wait to learn more about it and submit footage for some of the prizes that they're also offering users of this as well. So I'd recommend get this from Apple with all the different bundles and packages. You have cool features like bullet time, the football, you can put some copper over this and make it look like fire as well. All the drone shots that you can see here. And all this massive footage, and don't forget 360 photos as well. I like this because it had 5.7K with 30 frames per second. All right, well, we're checking out over here. Look forward to seeing you in the next review. Thanks, guys.